Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakodash. I'm going to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. News in this gospel brought, living up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another quick lesson through the Spirit. Lord's would it be edifying. Titled United Nations Planning Digital ID Link to Bank Accounts. As we're in the time of the institution of the MOTB, and we're going to continue to go into this prophecy because it's just really a slap in the face to you other camps out there that steady denying that the MOTB is the micro seed. All right, we've been speaking on this thing starting from the apostles and elders for decades, and each week they're bringing out some type of new information about this system, this globalized digital system, okay, that's going to be set up to bring in a one world currency, a one world government. See, now what they're doing, they're duping everybody down with this whole Titanic folly about this we'll show you it's all a psyop, because for one thing, if you know the history of the Titanic, allegedly it was sunk by iceberg in the North Atlantic, and it's 12,000 feet under the ground or under the ocean. Now, a count came out that really you had important bankers, businessmen, real estate moguls, steel tycoons that were set to board the ship to protest the Federal Reserve. Okay, you had the guys by J.P. Morgan Chase and these elite bankers at the time that was set to go and set up the Federal Reserve in America, but allegedly they got off the ship before it sailed off to the Americas, which in 6 days it allegedly sank by an iceberg, which we believe through the Spirit, it was sank. It was actually, that was an intentional aspect. Reports came out that was a fire down in the hole for like 6 days, and that they repatched it up, and it was like a fire ongoing the whole entire trip, which weakened the hull, so they sabotaged it. Some people say the ship was blown up, but ultimately it was sank. And then a year later, the Federal Reserve was blown up. And I'm making that statement because that's the biggest thing now about, the Titanic, 100 years ago, right? Now you have a submarine or some type of submarine by the name of Titan. And this is where it gets tricky. Titan, okay, which when you read the book, it's a book that came out in 1898, I believe. It was called like The Doom of the Titan. So in that book, it foretold a ship, a steamliner that looked identical to Titanic, called the Titan, which was sunk by an iceberg in the North Atlantic. But yet, allegedly, they named this submarine called Titan that sunk, or that came up missing in the North Atlantic, trying to search out the voyage or the wreckage or something like that. Now, the Simpsons predicted it, so-called predicted it, but they didn't really predict anything. And I saw the brother's video, and he went into the interview of the head guy from The Simpsons. I believe he's like the producer or something like that. And he was like, well, how do you guys predict this? And he said, well, we have a group of guys. We kind of contain them in this area. And then they come up and they dictate the pace of events. Okay. When he said they dictated, meaning that they already planned it out, or this is they're writing a script, or they're showing the script how it's going to be played out. So basically he was saying, look, we're insiders. We have insight on what's going to happen before it happens, because this is all part of the script. Okay, so there's no prophetic orators on the right hand side documenting Simpsons episode. These are all left hand witches, Satans. Okay, and they follow the elites game structure of world events, because the elites, they call themselves, they're like the prophets on the left hand side. They're like the left hand priesthood. So this is the reason why allegedly 10 years from now the Simpsons predict something allegedly, and then it come to pass, because it was already in the cards. They just knew about it before it was going to happen. It was already part of the plan. No different with this whole thing, which is a distraction now, because I believe next week or the beginning of the month or sometime in January will be the institution of the Fed now. Okay, which is all the shit is going to be tied into, because no coincidence that the UN is coming up with the algorithm called iVerify that's set to verify all types of quote unquote disinformation throughout the Western world, which includes America. So what make you think that this isn't tied to that, or this isn't tied to the hegemonies, man? Okay, so let's get a couple of precepts. I know I spoke a little bit, but let's get the precept here. This is the book of Psalms 33, and I'm gonna start at verses 10. It says Yahweh bringing the counsel of the heathen up to naught. Okay, and what's the counsel of the heathen? The think tanks, them getting together to formulate this NWO. Okay, like we went into the whole Matt Groening about the Simpsons predictions. That's the counsel of the heathen. You know, the Bilderberg groups, the what you call it, the G20 summits. Okay, this latest summit out in Davos in Switzerland, I believe. That's the counsel of the heathen, man. It says the Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught, and he maketh the devices of the people of none effect. Okay, and what's the device? None other than the MOTB itself. Okay, which this fat loaf of bread head Edomite right here is like one of the spokespersons. So it says the United Nations is planning to introduce a global digital ID system. Okay, global. Now let's look up the word global for you slow bellies out there. All right, we know Jake like to get stupid. So look up global. And global means worldwide, relating to the whole world, worldwide. Okay, so this is going to be a global rollout on some type of scale. They're going to roll this out globally. Okay, we're already seeing it rolled out in China, different parts of the Western world as well. And they're basically, they're banking their systems on this digital infrastructure, which is why everything is getting ready to shut down. And they're going to bring in different attacks, okay, different events that's going to shake the people up so they can be suckered into accepting the NWO. And that's what it's all about. That's why it's a very strong possibility why there's military presence in 28 out of 50 states. Some people say 17. Some people say 28. I'm gravitating more towards 28 because we know that you have sleeper cells here. Okay, you have military, a standing military in America that's on call for when the real ordeal go down. So it says the plan, which is similar to the system developed by the World Economic Forum, the WEF, is outlined in the 3 new policy briefs from the UN titled A Global Digital Compact Reform to the International Financial Architecture. Okay, that's that word financial. Think of financial, think of banks, think of trading, stocks, bonds, economies, okay, governments, jobs, traffic. And it says in the future of the outer space governance, it says the goal of the briefs is to advance the UN Security General Antonio Guterres' vision of the future. Okay, officially titled Our Common Agenda. When you think of something in common, it means like a unity. Okay, we have something in common, meaning that we have something alike. And this is the common goal of the Edomite or the elites, to micro-see every man, woman, and child on the planet Earth. And it reads, should be given the green light in September 2024 during an event dubbed the Summer for the Future. It says from the report, digital IDs, a link with bank or mobile money accounts, can improve the delivery of social protection coverage and to serve better reach eligible beneficiaries. It says digital technologies may help to reduce leakage errors and cause the design of social protection programs. But it says not unlike their unofficial counterparts over the you-know-what, the UN also speaks about basically regulating the global digital future, known as the you-know-what, the CHIP. America is going online with this system next month. Now, how far they're going to roll it out next month, we don't know. We have to wait and see. Okay, we're not telling you that the MOTB will be here next month. But shit, I wish it was, but we know that's not the case because they have to go through different stages to get this thing up. Okay, they have to test the fabric of the people. They have to test the mindset, and they have to test the willingness of people and have to push them to the brink of fear and insanity. All right. So in the book of Psalms 10 and 2, it says, the wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. It says, let them be taken in the devices which they have imagined. Okay. And this is none other than devised by Satan, okay, through the so-called white man, which is the biblical and the physical counterpart of spiritual demon Satan. Okay, it's his job and his goal to chip every man, woman, and child on the planet Earth once again. You see, that's why it says here, let him be taken in the devices which they have imagined, because, hey, he's going to go around, he's going to tag his own people up. But see, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is not going to allow him to come near the elect with that. Because the scriptures say in Daniel's the 12th chapter, first verse, says at that time, Michael should stand up for the prince of thy people, because he's going to make a gun when a run towards the men of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. But ultimately, the Lord is going to save us out of the ordeal. Okay, which is a good thing. Because if you get caught up by this coming tyranny, that means that the Lord was never with you in the first place. And a lot of Israelites, okay, A lot of you guys in the truth that claim your prophets and claim your men of the Lord, you're gonna succumb to this technology. And I'm willing to bet our best dollar on that. Because you can just see how these other groups are playing games. They're not warning the people. They're straddling the fence. Okay, every time we come out with an MOTB breakdown, then you got these counter videos, which is weak as hell. Somehow you got bodied. No, we did get bodied, man. You getting bodied. And the Lord is going to physically body you if you keep up that madness. You see? But it says the unelected organization uses phrases such as international cooperation, meaning through military force. You're going to cooperate because you're going to have a gun pointed at your face, man. Okay? This is going to be brought in by bloodshed. It ain't going to be like the first ordeal when, you know, they say, oh, voluntarily you can take it. But see, they passively, aggressively forced you into that system, getting to you know what, because they threaten your jobs. If you monkey-minded maggots knew how fraudulent this system was, you wouldn't have been threatened or on the fence about some damn job. Oh, well, you know, my job, I had to take it for my job. That's folly, man. I remember I was working with this one Jake. I think this, what is this, back in, this is, what, 2021? No, shit, when was it? It may have been early last year or late 2021. This one nigga gonna say, matter of fact, I was going to a fair and I ran into this guy because he worked like down the street from me, but we worked for the same business. So he seen me and we chopped it up, and all of a sudden the topic of Israel came up. And he was speaking, oh, yeah, I know I'm a Hebrew Israelite, you know, brother, you know, shalom, all that shit. I'm like, all right, bet, cool, bet it up. That's what's up, bro. So, I want to say about a month or two later, we had the pumps filling up our trucks and shit. And then me and the old school, we was just like chopping it up in the car about how that shit is knocking people off, how it's taking people out. It's basically an assassination attempt. It's basically a genocide thing, you know. And we ran into this guy and somehow he got immersed in the conversation. And this nigga gonna say, man, I knew I wasn't supposed to deal with it, but you know, my job. He said, I went against my faith. Because, you know, the organization I was working for at the time that was threatening us, like, look, either y'all get it or we gonna charge y'all to do the tests every week. It's gonna be like $100 out your paycheck. So we had a meeting down in City Hall because of it and found out what they doing was highly illegal. It was highly fraudulent. You know what I'm saying? So we got that redacted, but he had already went ahead and succumbed to the madness. He was like, man, I went against my faith. Which showed you right there that you Jakes, man, you're gonna be frightening into taking it, man. That's why the Lord said, hey, you have not resisted unto blood. Because there's gonna come a time that, hey, we're gonna be threatened, brothers. You know, now ultimately the Spirit of the Lord is gonna be with us to see us through it all. But man, a lot of you dudes, you ain't gonna be able to hold the fort down when that comes. All right, and you're talking about you groups out there that's teaching against this technology, because we're telling you and it's right in your face. Okay, you could choose to be stupid and not see it if you want to. That's your stubbornness, but hey, don't let stubbornness get you destroyed. All right. Let me get this in Ezekiel real quick, man, because Jake is hard head, man. All right, Jake is just fucking rebellious. They don't listen. All right, so this is the book of Ezekiel 3, and I'm gonna start at verses 6. Matter of fact, let's start at verse 7. It says, but the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted, man. Okay? You hard-headed. You're rebellious. Here the Most High got his men out here laboring like crazy, man. To the point brothers are doing shows throughout the day. Like the scriptures say, give him no rest until he made Jerusalem a praise in the earth. Brothers are literally putting out shows around the clock. It's not 1 hour in a day that a show don't go up. You know what I'm saying? I can literally be asleep 2-3 o'clock in the morning. You better believe it's a show going up somewhere. Or at the most, YouTube may get 2 or 3 hours of downtime from the Israelites. Brothers may shut it down at 1 o'clock in the morning. They back at it at 4. The minute the brothers are waking up for the plantation, brothers are putting out shows, man. You know? Because the Lord said, they send the prophets rising up early in the morning to warn them, but you have not hearkened. All right? But it says, behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads. As adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. But fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks. though they be a rebellious house, man. Okay, and you are a rebellious house. This is why the Lord is not going to spare you in the time of your judgment, because you're being warned, man. Ain't no way in hell that all this information, this video alone, the title, and we know Zero Hedge have some pretty articulate articles. Okay, their resources are usually on point. They're very accurate. They're right along the line, not on par with Natural News. And I know Natural News is accurate because I believe Mike Adams was an insider. So there's no way in hell that you jakes out there that call yourselves Israelites is not seeing this prophecy. But it's all good though, because I say it'd be rather you get destroyed than us. And I don't feel bad for you niggas, man. But it says international cooperation and many stakeholders who will advance principles, objectives, and actions to describe globalist agendas. It says the digital future, as envisaged by these groups, is going to be quite the opposite of open, free, or human-centric, however. But as far as the UN's vision for the future global financial institutions, financial system, as it is supposed to be harmonized with the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. But the key factors here would be the UN's chief, as well as the group of 20, the Economic and Social Council, and the heads of international financial institutions. But it says, but within this, the UN sees visions of a global digital compact. You see? And we know what that is. I don't take a rocket science to figure that out. You see? So, anyway, let's go from here to the book of Thessalonians. Hold on one second. You know what? Nah, Thessalonians, Salaki. I'm going to go to the book of Romans. It's more suitable. Romans 13. No, Romans 11. Yep, Romans 13. And I'm going to start at verses 11. It says, in that knowing the time that it is now, it is high time to wake up out of sleep. It says, for now is our salvation nearer than what we believed. Okay, we're there, brothers. We're there. Like, we're really there. They're talking. I mean, this system is getting ready to go digital in a matter of seconds, man. So we there. Yahweh Shai's return is at the doors. We don't have to wait that much longer. We just got to continue to do what we do and hold on, man. You know, lace up. Because we're this close to getting the kingdom. And all this shit is going to be a thing in the past in a minute. It says the night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness. Right. Come out of the folly. You camps out there. I don't know what the hell what's your problem? But honestly speaking, if you don't see it at this point, then you ain't going to get it. And you ain't trying to get it. And that's fine with us. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. That's on you. Joke's on you. And it says, let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. And let us walk honestly. Okay? Not teaching lies. Not teaching slander. Okay? Not teaching against the scriptures. Not teaching for your own belly. But it says, let us walk honestly as in the day. Not in rioting and drunkenness. Not in chambering and wantonness. Nor in strife and envying. Because a lot of them guys don't teach it because the apostles teach it. And a lot of them guys, they don't like the apostles of Great Millstone. For whatever fucking reasons, man. Okay, some sense of envy that's going on for the apostles and elders. You know, they feel that, how can these men get it? Look at them, they have low degree. Well, you know what? It's all good because the Lord said that he come to them that was despised of all people. So, hey, it's all good. Okay, the Lord deals with the underdog. The Lord deals with the babes. He's deal with the ones that's despised because Yahweh Shai was despised. All right, but put ye on the Lord Yahweh Shai and make not provisions for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. And that's what you guys are doing. All right. Average Christians know this. Typical niggas in the world or Edomites in the world know of this prophecy. But you jakes, you guys just jokes, man. But it's all good because it was the same thing during the time of Noah. All right. Now this is the book of Matthew 24. And I'm going to start at verses. Let's go at verses. This whole chapter is really good. fact, now let's get this one to Luke. Luke 21. Yep, this is Luke 21, and I'm going to start at verses 28. It says, "And when these things began to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for the redemption draweth nigh. And when he spake them a parable, behold, a fig tree and all the trees. It says, when they shoot forth, ye see and know of yourselves that summer is now nigh at hand. So likewise, ye, when ye see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of the Most High is nigh. But verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting, which is drunkenness, and drunkenness in the cares of this life. And you other groups, you're focused on your life, and this is the reason why you sold out. And so that day come upon you unawares." It says, "For as a snare should it come upon all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth." Then they just say that this is a global thing. "Watch therefore, pray, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that should come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man." So, hey, we see what it is, man. But I'm going to end it there. All praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. And with that, Shalom and above. Shalom.